Hi Aries, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Aries, this week it's all about the fairies. We're going to use Brian Froud's fairy oracle deck. I want to see what fairies have been working around you recently, right now, and what fairies probably be working with you in the future, and around what elements of your life. So it's going to be kind of interesting, I think. And yeah, so we're going to get started. If I can grab the deck. I'm going to start, of course, with the fairy deck and see what messages we have from the fae. Okay, Aries, this is an interesting reading. There's like the underline here of something that has been unfinished. Well, the first card, like the underlying card that you have is the feline. And that is like the last card in this deck, in the fairy deck, number 65. And it's kind of like cleaning up loose ends before like moving on. And so I don't know what these loose ends are yet, and I may not know specifically, but it's interesting because your reading has written all over it, like completing things, releasing things, coming to terms with that, and then encompassing a whole new energy to move forward. But there's something here too about, I don't know if it's tied to some sort of a loose end or something that is just not quite finished, right? It's like you have, okay, I feel like you're sitting on the edge of, like I would describe the world card, even though it doesn't sit here in the spread. It might come out as a clarifier, but it's like you're sitting on the edge of the world card, which is like really truly finalizing something and completing it. It's closed off in all aspects. It's been successfully done. You know that you can shut the door and you can walk forward, and there's nothing left unsaid, undone, unclarified. It's good. That's the world card. Like if the world card is in reverse, like that's kind of, I almost feel like that's where you sit in this energy. It's like, it's just like trying to turn that card for some reason. When it's in reverse, it feels like there's either something that has gone unfulfilled, unfinished, a duty unfulfilled, something just left in the air, right? Like, I think the world card in reverse would best be described as that, like just something left in the air. You know, there's lots of things that we do in life that can come to that point where we just, you know, this isn't something that I should have been involved in. This isn't something that I should have put my energy in. I just need to walk away. Like, there could be any reasons for that. I feel like you're sitting there right now with this. That's what this reading feels like. It's like the world card in reverse. So, and it's tidying up these loose ends. Now, I'm also not sure, but it is very clear here why. They're coming into your energy, we have guilt. And look at this. The underline of this is indecision and forgiveness. So I find that so fascinating because, you know, feeling guilty, wanting forgiveness, are these things that need to be clarified between you and someone else? Or are these things that you need to clarify within yourself? Because it's interesting because you also have the Emperor and the Empress here. So you could be talking about, you know, the higher aspect of yourself and how true you've been to that. Or it could be dealing with someone else who's quite significant to you. And then the underline as well, did I get, yeah, we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Messenger, the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Water, the Seven of Wands, the Two of Air, and the Messenger of Fire. So it's interesting because the Two of Air to me can be a very indecisive card. And then you have the Messenger of Fire, which is the Knight of Wands. So indecision about forgiveness, but the Two of Air and the Messenger of Fire, like that just feels like a sudden shift. you may have invested like a lot of time working on something here and you became emotionally detached. Spending a lot of time like mastering something, perhaps even mastering emotional detachment. And in the Seven of Wands, because the Seven of Wands is looking back at all of that energy. Like this is a slow process to really master emotional detachment. Why? I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I have to, like, when I pull the cards out, I really only look at them for like a few seconds and then I get right into the reading with you, because I find that's the best way to develop the reading for me anyways. And then it's like being indecisive, but then suddenly there's intensity, there's movement. And I can see that as being something in the future, because you have, these are your two fairy cards. It's actually, I want to say, trying to find some sort of balance here, because the Raw card too is about sort of like this wild, untamed, and ungrounded energy. It's got like great potential, but there's always kind of like a warning that comes with this. Like, it's just like this ball of energy that says, like, you know, this is a fairy energy, but humans are not fairies. So you need to ground this, which is interesting, because then you have a collective of pixies, which to me, that's funny actually, because it is about like sort of like your duty to do something, but doing it in a fun way, but also recognizing there could be others involved that would help you to do this, whatever it is. So I'm just, right now, I'm just like, there's so much energy here where I'm just trying to give you bits of it, and then we're going to piece it together. So the feline also talks about duty, and this duty is about like wrapping things up properly, concluding things properly here. Things left undone, things left unsaid. And then, so there could be others that help you in something. There's something here that you need to do. And I'm not 100% sure yet if it's for you or someone else. Or even even if it is for someone else, it also completes something for you. But then what comes in next, the emotion with that is relaxation. Because it almost feels like there might be so many possibilities, or so much, you may have so much energy that's difficult to contain in the future, that allowing others to kind of help you with this would, I want to say, alleviate possibly some stress. Okay, so I touched on what I feel like is sort of like a general atmosphere of this reading. Okay, you have the learning card with the Lady of the Harvest, which is it's kind of like the fae energy that you were utilizing in the past. So you were learning about completion, grief, loss, and preparing to move on. So that's a lot of what's on here. It's like, again, because it's harvest, it has that sense of completing something, but something is not completed here. There's something that you haven't fulfilled, but it's almost like you're right at the end, because 65 is the last card, and that's your underline. So you were learning about closing, so maybe something significant in your life, some sort of major change that you went through, and it could have been about Greece. Maybe the movie Grease was significant to you, or grief, loss, releasing this, and then these are all the things that need to take place to be able to move on. Now, I want to say too that there's some things that probably went unanswered for you with the Seven of Cups and the High Priestess, but this almost feels like, to me, in the past with those cards and learning about that process, it's almost like, you know, some things you'll just never know, or you won't know in this lifetime, or you won't understand while you're here alive, you know, like, and it is like claiming some sort of really strong sense of self. You know, why do things happen? I don't know. You know, when you're talking about the possibilities of grief and loss too. And in closing this off, we don't know why things happen or why things happen in a certain way. There might have also been like a lot of areas that you needed to navigate and choices that you needed to make, and you weren't really sure how to do it, and you just trusted your intuition. I feel like you've closed that off. I feel like, or you've done something there properly. You've completed that. And then you become like this really strong leader in terms of a sense of self and what's next for you, possibly. But something's not closed here. So now in the present, you have Tobiah of the waters and guilt. So this is about also like because it's waters too. It's like all of the waters that flow through us and the emotions. There's a lot of emotions that go in with this card, but why is there guilt? That's the thing here that is really strange for me. Like I'm not picking up on why there's guilt here. And that's what I feel like I need to get into the underline. And right, and there's indecision and forgiveness. So it's not like the guilt card is just mistakenly appearing here. There's a reason. There's some sort of guilt. Indecision and forgiveness. Being indecisive. Maybe you were indecisive in the past about something, because the Seven of Cups is here with the High Priestess. Like there's not a lot. There's either like way too many options to even know where to start, or the options all seem like illusions and none of it makes sense. Like it's just not an energy that you can move forward with. And then it feels like to me in the past, then just like focusing on what you can move forward with, which is kind of like alchemy. Completing a cycle of grief, loss, change, transformation, and learning about all that. And maybe even that has a lot to do with, you know, why you're like, so it could even be like your emotional state was this. There's just so much going on emotionally that the only thing you can do is really just trust your own intuition. See where the universe takes you. Have like faith in something here. So yeah, so like right now, there's like this energy of guilt, gracefully accepting change. It could be like a change in your emotions as well as your health, but that feels like it's a good thing. And I'm going to show you, like, I can't, like this guilt card is sitting out. I'm like, why is it there? It's just the oddest thing. And I would say, well, did the shuffle not come out right? But it's a long time ago that I started doubting that as a reader. Like I know every card comes out for a reason here. And because you have as the underline, there's something here. Feeling guilty, wanting to ask for forgiveness. Or maybe this energy is around, maybe this is something that somebody feels around you. Because I'm not picking it up with your cards. That's the thing. So you have the Page of Wands, the Four of Wands, and then the Empress is like the energy that you're sitting in right now. And this energy, you see what I mean? It's almost like you kind of complete something in the past and you come out like this Emperor. And now you're sitting here with this Empress energy. I'm going to read it all as you, and then I'm going to slip out of that. And I feel like there's a different way to pull in this guilt. But I have to keep on the path that I'm on right now with this reading, and then I'm going to look at it in a different way. Okay, so I feel like with these cards, with the tarot cards that you have out right now, you're either communicating about, you could be communicating about, talking about, conversing, about sort of like good times that you have planned, or it's just like a good time. This communication is great. It's really, really good, whatever's going on. And it's creating abundance. Like you're creating abundance. You're kind of swimming in abundance right now. And I want to say if there's an emotional switches or transformations that are happening for you, it is, I would say, moving out of a period of grief. Maybe that's what that is. Maybe it's feeling guilty about moving out of grief. That makes sense. Okay, because that is present in the past. But there's a transformation here, right? And I'm like, well, these cards are really good. So it's coming out of grief. And maybe you feel guilty about that. Okay, that makes more sense. Maybe too, like if there's people or relationships that you've left behind, there's cycles that you've closed off. I don't know, maybe you see other people still struggling with, where do I go now? What do I do? How do I pick up these pieces? That, it could have something to do with work. The Eight of Pentacles was there too. So it could have something to do with that. Like it could be you're making some choices, hard choices for yourself here. And you need to become, because you got the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups, you're not attached to that anymore. You're distant from it. You're emotionally detached. I could see that there's something here where you're moving into a better energy, a better time. This is a time of celebration for you, to be quite honest. Like what you're sitting in here, this is a time of celebration. This is a time of reaping what you've sown. I want to say that too, because the harvest is thinking about, bringing in the things, all the work that's gone into something and what you get at the end of that. But it's almost like because she's holding the shafts of grain of wheat here, it's like been reaped. Maybe some of you have had to make some choices in terms of, it does feel like possibly looking after yourself, because you do have that. I mean, the epitome of self-governance with the Emperor. So what is this in the future? With the Roar, a collection of pixies. I do feel like it'll be beneficial for you, for others to help you in some sort of endeavor. This is like great energy, but grounding it. And it almost feels like the story is there's so much abundance, maybe too, with like the Page of Fire, the Four of Fire, and the Empress. That's pretty abundant energy. It could be more than you can harvest at once, right? Like, which is almost like feeling like things are maybe even moving quickly and getting others to help you with this. But there's an underline here of something not being fully closed off. That's why we're here. That's the whole reason for this reading. Okay, you have the Four of Water, the Queen of Fire. There you are. And the Hermit. Oh, the Hurts. Okay, so, all right then. Maybe that's part of it. It's like this Hermit falls away. Maybe you've been relaxing in, I don't want to say relaxing. Well, you could. Because preparing to move on is one of the other cards that's associated with this. And yeah, and the funny thing is, you would think though with harvest, the next thing that you would be moving on to is winter. But this is not, you're not in a winter right now. And maybe that's what the guilt is. Here's the unfinished business. The Four of Water. Because that would represent, not seeing something for what it is. But that's odd because it doesn't seem to reflect the energy you're in. So I want to say, because this is like, you're not noticing the great opportunity that the universe is like offering to you, because you're caught up in something, you're caught up in a more negative cycle. Maybe that's what this unfinished business is. Maybe there was some, because I'm not picking it up, but this is like someone swimming in illusions. Swimming in illusions, and the card that's coming in with it, is going through a period of loss. So swimming in illusions. If you're swimming in illusions, I would say you would not see the opportunities that are around you, or an opportunity that's around you because of that loss, because of that grief. This was possibly, because I'm trying to figure out too, like, why the guilt? And why something's not closed off here. It's like the World card sitting in reverse. So the Queen of Fire and the Hermit. It almost feels like, because the Queen of Fire wouldn't really hesitate to do much. She's kind of in there, like in it, in the soup of life. But it almost looks like knocking on a door. I just heard knocking on heaven's door. I know it's a song, but it's not coming in. On heaven's door. I really want to clarify. I do feel like there could be like something coming around for you. An opportunity that was missed in the past. Because it's the only way that Four of Water makes sense. Like it's something to look at again. If it's not a full-on opportunity, it's like if the Queen of Fire is walking into the Hermit energy, then I want to say that you're taking a time out here. You might be. Because this energy is intense. Like it even just feels like it just feels almost overwhelming. This in the future, like your energy just starts to take off with everything that's here, and then it almost seems to take off too much to the point where like, wow, I really need to ground this. I need to take a break here. Okay, I'm going right to guilt. Why is guilt here? It's obviously like an emotion based on this, you know, that you're working through. Maybe this is an emotion that you're releasing. There's so much going on here. Like, because I feel like I'm almost sitting at, it's like I'm seeing like you in the World card. And like, it's almost like you're about to walk through a portal. And there's so much that you cannot take with you. And it's almost like somebody who's like taken a flight and your luggage is way overweight. That's exactly what this feels like. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't need that. No. And then it's just like this last minute feeling of, oh, wait a second. We need to double check this. I don't think you're taking this. You can't take all that with you. And I want to say what's in the suitcase can feel like emotions, thoughts, ideas, maybe people, places, and things. Guilt. I feel like this is part of some sort of baggage that needs to get left behind. The Eight of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Well, I want to say there's some sort of guilt here about not seeing something for what it is. And whether that's you or you're dealing with another fire sign. It gets confusing when that happens. There's a possibility of that here. Guilt, the Eight of Swords and the Queen of Fire. And the Queen of Fire is sitting in the area in your future that feels like, I want to say, and two, these are the only cards that are all the same color. Everything else is very like brown, red, orange, earthy toned. These ones are the same color. It might be guilt about blocking something out of your life. If it's not a person, it's some sort of self-empowerment. All right, well, now that okay. Oh, wait, what is the indecision and forgiveness? indecision. Oh, it's interesting. The Star and the Seven of Swords. So that is that's hiding some sort of healing here, or hiding from healing something. And then forgiveness. Do you see what I mean? These cards are so... It's like the Oracle cards, forgiveness, are really telling a specific story, but in your tarot cards, it doesn't come out that way. The Ten of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. I honestly can't help except feel like that this is, for some of you, I don't know if this is you, this is a cross watcher, but this feels like this forgiveness card is associated with having some sort of happiness here with someone, right? But then it's almost like this person takes their cup somewhere else. This person takes their cup somewhere else, but then it's almost like with the Ten of Swords, like, oh, that's not the right choice. Like there's defeat here. Oh, I don't know. Somebody here dealing with too many people in some sort of situation here that perhaps should have been more like a one-on-one. Because the Three of Cups is now, I mean, that's going backwards from the 10. It feels like it's going in the wrong direction. So somebody could have been feeding, even emotionally, something here outside of possibly a relationship. And this offer ends up in dead water. Could be. You have like two counterparts, the Emperor and the Empress. But the Queen of Wands has shown up twice. This could also be, it's also coming in very strongly here, like a same-sex situation for someone also. One of you is a little more masculine than the other. All right. So there's something that's going on here. So let's see this. Maybe, okay, I don't know. Maybe there's something here where, like, this is connected to the forgiveness. It just, honestly, it feels like somebody made a bad choice. Somebody made a bad choice where they could have had like this happiness, but they chose to, I want to say, just not invest in a one-on-one relationship. And then where you take that ends up like feeling defeated. All right, so the Seven of Cups. And the Four of Wands. Oh, sorry, it's the Seven of Cups. I didn't say it. The Six of Swords and the Four of Wands. Oh, well, you've taken yourself exactly where you wanted to go. You've let the universe take you out of something here. Maybe the underlying is something that you, or like somebody did this to you, because it doesn't make sense. It's not your energy here. The underlying is odd. The underlying, okay, represents this underlying, there's some sort of guilt here. I want to say, I don't know. I'm not going to focus on that yet because this is actually a very complicated reading for Aries. I usually pull out such a complicated reading for you guys. Okay, so in the past here, there was like illusions, confusions, and you know what? Just where's the universe taking me? Somewhere better, like trusting in the universe. And then you have followed with the High Priestess, right? This is very empowering. Sometimes it's more powerful to let something go and see where the universe takes you than trying to control a situation too. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here in your past as well. Like this is like you not necessarily controlling something and just letting the universe take you to a much better place. And that's where you end up. That's where you are now. So the High Priestess, with the Tower. You'd be surprised where the universe takes you. And you might even be surprised. There might have even been some surprise here with what the universe eliminates from your life. The Emperor. The Two of Cups and the Six of Wands. I don't know, it looks like well, you have the learning card. Some sort of clarity is reached here. And I want to say it blows your mind what the universe shows you. Okay, completion, grief, loss. Is this something that you thought was lost? Because something's not finished here. Something's not finished here. So the Lady of the Harvest. The Five of Swords. See, like something's not finished. Something that, but it feels like this is from your end. Like this is your decision. So there's your decision here that something is not over. So then let's see. So currently you have the Page of Fire. And it's really interesting because the Emperor pulled out the Two of Cups with the Six of Wands and the Empress is over here. The Page of Fire. Justice and the Five of Wands. Let me get this whole thing. The Four of Fire, the Four of Wands, I thought something flipped. The Ten of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So it's almost like a heavy burden is released with like just flowing emotions. But right, and what do you have right now is like flowing emotions. I kind of honestly want to say too, if you feel like there was something that was unattainable for you, that it becomes like, so you're in the process of seeing that something is attainable, that you can do something here. And then the Empress. The Lovers and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, I'm starting to get this, but it's deep. And I want to say that I feel like I don't know how distant some of this energy is for you, because I feel like I'm getting so much information in this reading. It's kind of crazy. It's a lot actually to deal with, because I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that's transpired in something. If you have felt, I don't know, maybe you felt guilty about some things you had to look after on your own, because the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Swords is also, the Queen of Wands or the King of Wands are also very like independent. They're particularly the Queen of Wands, because that is Aries energy. The King of Wands is Leo, so it might not be quite so much. I think Leo is probably the most sharing out of all the fire signs. But the Queen of Wands is definitely about the self. So closing things off, keeping things away to look after the self. If you've done that, or if you felt any guilt, I want to say you probably shouldn't, because you're swimming in this abundance here. You're swimming in possibilities. I feel like there's opportunities here for you that if you didn't see them in the past, you're definitely going to be seeing them like right now. It's like right now. So this is your energy right now. And I feel like you're also like doing very significant changes in your overall energy. Like these are two of the, this is like pretty much as high as you can get in the 3 dimension for, you know, like leveling up. And you've got them both here, like this yin and yang in that. It's a very powerful energy, and you might even be bringing in powerful counterparts or counterpart for yourself. Which, right, like, just feel this. This is like intense. This is also a celebration. This is almost like feeling, I'm hearing over the moon. You know when like something suddenly becomes like so exciting and unimaginable that you almost need to kind of catch your breath, like, and you can feel like sort of lightheaded. That's just like the combination of these 2 cards feel like that to me. So right then relaxation, and then you get the Hermit. So it's like, okay, I just need to catch my breath here for a second. The roar and, okay, just the roar. The roar, the roar. The roar. The King of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords. Oh, there was something here about the 8 of Pentacles. Something that you walked away from that had to do with work, or a way that you put yourself into work in some way here. It was to find some sort of clarity. Your mind was telling you something that your heart didn't want to hear. Or your heart was trying to tell you something that your mind refused to believe, which is possible. I don't know. I could see there's something very confusing in your past. A collection of pixies. And this is to rectify something in the future for you. It is to get, I feel like, others to help somehow. With the Page of Cups. Now there's interesting because that's the olive branch. The reaching out, like the asking for forgiveness, the forgiving. So that's interesting. And then relaxing. I want to say, I feel like you're going to do something in the future that rectifies, it's almost like I'm just hearing, this is it. Or now I'm hearing Huey Lewis. This is it. Ooh, please let me know. Oh, if this ain't a love, you gotta let me go. If this is it, ooh, please. Right? That's that. Because that's what this feels like. So I don't know. Oh my gosh. It is a 4 of Cups and the Strength card. So, okay, this future energy looks like, to me, you do something here to either make something known, to rectify something, but it's just like that Huey Lewis in the new song. If this is it, please let me know. If this ain't a love, you gotta let me go. Or if this is something that you're asking somebody, or or they're asking you. I don't know. But it's kind of like that feels like the final nail, perhaps, in some kind of coffin. Like, because something's not finalized here. The Four of Water. The Eight of Wands, the World, and the Two of Pentacles. Wow, it is. This is like moving towards the world, towards the end of a cycle. And then what are your options after that? Oh, that's interesting. It feels relationship based to me. It doesn't have to be. It could be like different options that you have that you're weighing out, and you really need to know that this is not an option, like closing that off and moving forward. And then like looking at what are viable options for you. Because this Four of Cups is coming in to close. It's like the Eight of Wands to the World, like to close this off. The Queen of Fire. Interesting energy. The Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit is going into, I think you're closing something off here that you were hoping for. But it almost feels like a relief with the relaxation card. And it's almost like taking a plan and moving forward, but like thinking deeply about it in the Hermit energy. What do you think about in the Hermit? The Seven of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the World. So it's almost like a plan to see clearly into the, I want to say into the future, into a different cycle. So yeah, there's something here that's definitely like coming to a proper conclusion. Here we go. The Feline. The Feline. Wow. The Nine of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and Karma, which is justice. So yeah, it is. This is like something that has not been properly closed off. That's getting properly closed off. So that you can, I do want to say like, explore options that you're meant to explore. And then rising up into new karmic cycles. Everything is karmic. At the bottom, the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. Hoping, dreaming. Well, that's an interesting reading. There was a lot packed in that. I don't know if the whole week is going to be like this. All right, Aries. Oh, what are we going to do with extended? You know, I think I'm going to keep the extendeds open this week. So yeah, I'm going to keep working with the fairies in the extended, or will I? No, I'm being told not to work with the fairies in the extended. Okay, I might work with the Energy Oracle deck in the extended. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to leave it open, just what the universe wants to talk to you about. There you go, Aries. Thank you so much, Fireball babies. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.